seen him. Yeah, and then there's a lady that was absolutely had nothing to cowboy boots on. Yeah, except when she was
All right, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. As most of y'all know, we have or I'm sure everybody knows since you got this in your packet that Katie emailed out on Thursday, notice for a second public hearing. This is for the water tank project. A second required public hearing concerning the implementation of the Arkansas Community and Economic and Development Program grant for the Huntsville water tank will be held tonight, obviously right now. The purpose of this hearing is to inform citizens of the current scope and progress of ACEDP project, discussing any changes or impacts involved, financing sources, user fees, and beneficiaries that have occurred since the first public hearing. Accept oral and written comments regarding this project and discuss potential impacts upon citizens that may or will result during the course of this project. All residents of Huntsville are encouraged to attend this hearing and participate in this community development process. Do we have anybody that wants to step up and say anything during this second public meeting? No takers? So we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And we'll start with our agenda. All right. Call this meeting to order. Katie, if you would, please call roll.
Counselor Oath.
Here.
Lacey. Here. Thomas.
Here.
Evans. Here. Roden.
Here.
Mythaler.
Here.
Ford is absent. We have a quorum, Mayor.
All right. We'll start, if everybody would please rise for the invocation given by Counselor Thomas and the Pledge of Allegiance given by Mr. Rogers.
Lord, we're thankful once again for this day that you've given us. We're thankful that you've gathered us here to talk about our community business, Lord. And we pray, Lord, through any decisions that need to be made this evening, that you just guide us by your wisdom. And we're careful to give you the glory and praise in everything, and give us safety of travel as we go home. We pray for this through Christ's name. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All may be seated. All right, approval of the agenda. Councilors may add items or delete items at this time.
Make a motion to approve as submitted.
Mr. Olf makes a motion to approve, and second by Ms. Evans. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right. Introduction of special guests. I see none in our audience. They're all special out there. Let's see here. Special order of business, we have none. Approval of minutes of meeting July the 8th, 2024.
Motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
Mr. Oaf and Mr. Roden, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right. Public comments. We got anybody out there that needs to say anything? Most of y'all are employed with the city. All right. Moving right on to city department reports. Police department. Go ahead, Chief, if you would.
Excuse me. Pretty good month actually for July. Nothing earth-shattering really going on in the police department. We had our lieutenant's retirement. Thank you for everybody that attended. It was a nice send-off, I think, and his family and friends seemed to be very well pleased. We did hire a Tristan Seaton. He's a patrol officer. We're not, like I said, we're not going to fill the lieutenant position at this time, so we have another patrolman on the street now. Any questions?
Any questions of the chief? All right. Hearing none, we'll move on to street department. Scott is not with us tonight, obviously. Just to catch you up on a couple things that we're working on. We think that we figured out an issue up on Crossbow Road with water traveling across Crossbow over to right in front of the Catholic church up there on the hill. We've had some incidents where those are slick spots. I don't know if Chief, if you've worked anything, or Kevin, you've been called to anything, but we've had a few run off, like if we have a rain.
Coming down the hill.
Coming down the
there.
hill. If we have a big rain event, we went over there, actually visited with this, the lady that owns the property there, at the rodeo. We measured it out the other day. It's gonna, about the center of her driveway is gonna meet our 25-foot right-of-way requirements for crossbow. We're gonna, the tile's too small there, so we're going to, take out that tile and put that and force the water on down, towards the Brashear's place, if you will, there. I think that's what, Scott, am I correct in that? Is that the Brashear's place there with the little field below that house?
There to the left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there to the left, yeah. So we've done that. Katie had brought to our attention in regards to an uptick in water usage up here on the square. We've got a couple different meters up there. I've asked those guys to adjust the time frame in which we water plants. It seems like it was exorbitantly high. We had Sean go out and check. There was no leaks, so that's actually what our water bill was. So hopefully we've corrected the problem with the timing and for our sprinkler systems that pop up.
I have a question on that.
Okay.
Because I was passing by where the roads meet, coming off the square and going on the square, and it was raining, but the sprinklers were on.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I actually noticed it today, this morning, whenever it was raining too. And so I followed up with them this morning. And we have them overtimed and over. That's the water bill.
Right.
We've checked for the leak. So now we've got a new gentleman. What's his name? That's doing the flowers.
Andrew Eden, I believe.
Andrew Eden. He's out of Goshen, I believe.
Okay.
Does a fantastic job, but I think that we're overwatering our flowers. So we're gonna have a conversation with him about that as well. But hopefully this will solve our huge consumption of water over there. Anything? Oh, the other complaints that are some of the complaints that we received for roads fluffing off and some issues down at the walking trail. I'm happy to tell you that the street department boys or public works guys have remedied all that last week with ordered 4 yards of concrete, and we fixed all 4 places over there. So nothing really to report on that front. Nothing really going on over there that much. So that's Scott's report. Water department, you got anything for us, Ty?
No, I'll answer any questions.
Okay. Walk around Wednesday at 10:30 to finalize this tank.
Correct.
Okay, good. All right. Any questions of Ty? Anything going on water or sewer related?
So are we using water out of the new tank?
We have been
That is
for
where it
close
is.
to a month.
As a matter of fact, it was right after last council. It was within a couple of days of that.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the old one's still just full, it's
The
just,
old one has water in it. I haven't checked to see how full it is. We get everything kind of caught up with what we're doing. We're gonna start working on decommissioning that tank, emptying it.
And I'm happy to report at the rodeo where I've visited with a lot of different people. Some of the people that live on out the road there, that's outside the city, just out in the county, they were talking about how impressive their water pressure was now that we've got that tank online. Said it's fantastic.
Down the road to the boxes, you mean?
Yeah, out that way.
2035.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can attest to that.
yeah. A lot more
Help you- that-
pressure.
That would have helped you guys up there
Oh,
too.
it
Robert.
is. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but it is.
Mhm. Fantastic.
I don't even have to bore a hole in it to get water from the pumping house.
Note to self, Chief, keep eye on Kevin.
We know.
All right, moving on. Fire department report. What you got, Chief?
KME is back from, when we went up and did our inspection, of course, that's when we found out that it had a recall on the steering. They sent it to International. It has now been sent back from International to KME. KME is supposed to be fixing all the things that were wrong with it when we did our inspection. It should, within the next week or so, make its way to John's, the vendor we bought it from, in Rogersville. And once it gets there, then we'll go back up to do a last inspection and make sure that everything that was supposed to be fixed was fixed, and then they're supposed to deliver it to us. John's, the people we bought it from, I know this is gonna shock a lot of folks, but they have lost their KME contract. So once we take delivery from them, they will no longer be the people we work with for warranty work. The company that will be taking over our warranty work is Firemaster. They are the ones that Engine 1 that we bought back in 98, which is still our best rig. They are the ones we bought it from, and they did obviously very quality work on Engine 1. So I do anticipate that will be a much better relationship than what we've had over the last 3 years, 4 years on this whole circumstance.
Kevin, where is Firemaster based out of?
Springfield.
Springfield, okay.
Yeah, so that's good, and I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, once we get it here, you know, part of our original plan when we started all of this was to try to update our fleet. We talked about before. Engine 1, which is our best rig, was built in 98, Engine 2 was in 99, Rescue is in 2000, and the Squad was in 2001. They are all American LaFrance rigs, which went out of business over a decade and a half ago. That was the original plan, was we'd get this one in, and then we would trade Engine 2 and maybe Squad and try to get a 2-for-1 and try to upgrade. But the value over the last 4 years of Engine 2 has dropped significantly. Not sure it's going to be that much of a valuable trade-in for us. So once it gets here, we're still trying to figure out what's going to be our next move, right? What do we do? Do we maintain Engine 2, keep it as a reserve engine for future growth? Do we perhaps try to solicit, you know, one of the automatic aid departments we have that actually responds and see if we can upgrade their fleet? Those are some decisions that are going to have to be made rather shortly, and we're looking at the market trying to figure it out. With that goes in what I've talked to you about before. At some point in time, we're going to have to address the issue of ladder truck. We are now at that point with our ISO rating where we now having a service truck no longer qualifies. We have to have a ladder truck. So that may be something we can work into this in the future. But those are things we're going to try to come up with in the next month or two, come up with some options and talk to the mayor and kind of see where everybody is on that. The last thing, of course, is just that broken record, but we are continuing to have to respond to our neighboring departments for their calls and being first due on their calls. The lack of response from other departments, that's scary, because we need them. As those of you who've been around here before, when the square was on fire, when the apartments were on fire, we're averaging 11 to 12 of our people on a structure fire, which is not bad, but when you start to calculate in how long it takes before somebody wears out and you need to replace them and do things, we've always depended upon those outside departments to augment our force. That's just not happening, and even the numbers that they're able to supply, they are not air pack ready. They're not able to go in and replace our guys for interior firefighting. So that continues to be an ongoing challenge. You know, we're working with them. You know, we keep trying to train them best we can, but that is something on the horizon that we have to deal with. Because what that affects is that it could put us in positions where if we can't get a quick knockdown on large structures here in town, that we go to more of a defensive position to try to just keep them from spreading, as opposed to getting in and putting them out. So it is something that is definitely on our radar, and we continue to work on options on short-staffed rigs and how we can deliver more water efficiently. But it is something for us to be concerned about and think about. Other than that, that's kind of where we are right now. Comments, questions, concerns?
Is there anything that we can work with, like say on the county level, some type of a concern committees deal, something like that, to maybe sit down and figure out what the core root of the problem is? I know volunteerism is that bad, but
It is, you know, across the nation, volunteerism in general is up, but it is for events where people can show up and go do stuff, right? Volunteer firefighting, there is training, there's requirements, there's things you've got to be able to do, and that is dramatically down. One of the issues that the mayor and the judge and I even talked about in the past is, and it's in our interest to continue to respond to these other departments, because we still depend upon them. If nothing else, they are able to bring us tankers, right? And so when we are, for now, still on the west side of town or anywhere else, we need that. But the funding, the Act 833 funding is how they exist, right? They've got dues and they get 833 money, but that's us. Every time we go out of the city, it's our equipment, our people going out there, so figuring out, some way of equitably funding what we're doing and how we're doing it is something that has been discussed before, and I'm not sure as far as getting manpower. Same story we have, people's jobs, pull them out of the community, and they're not there. You look at where the growth is, Smyrna, that's probably the most dependable department we have right now, and they are young, they are trying. I am very proud of those young men and what they're doing out there, but they are very young and green. They're still trying to learn some basic stuff out there. They're experiencing growth. You go into the Forum, Alabama area, you're not seeing a lot of growth there. You go to the Marble and the Kingston area, there's just not. Or it depends on the time of the day. So.
And to add to that, Guy, I had a fireman in my office today from Wesley, and I've heard this numerous times. They look for us. They look to us for training, leadership, etc. So if anybody has any ideas about how to maybe get that volunteerism up in these communities, or if you have any ties to a community that you can help us out with that would be fantastic. And I'm sure that any of those fire chiefs, this one was from Wesley as a matter of fact today, and he was bragging on the training that they've received from our fire department and different things of that nature. So if anybody has any connections in those communities, make it a topic of conversation in those communities to have that and say, hey, if there's anything that we can do to help drive that or whatever, I mean, we'd love to have them help us with it. So, but you are correct, Guy. It's way down across the nation, really. So.
Anything else I can address?
I'm afraid to ride in it, Leslie.
We're gonna have the mayor drive it first, just to see.
I don't know if y'all have this image in your mind, but this has been so long going. You're proud of a new vehicle municipality is, so what do? They put it in a parade, right? Mm-hmm. I could so see us getting to the center of the square and the wheels falling off this thing.
The warranty's already expired.
I mean, the warranty's already expired, and I could see Kevin another 3 months on the phone. Yeah, wheels just fell off. Could you send somebody? And no, sorry, we went out of business. I hope that it is. I hope that it is.
Like I said, the warranty work will now be conducted by a reputable company.
That's good. That is a good thing. Yeah.
So I am.
Anybody actually still make fire trucks in the U.S.?
Oh yeah, yeah. But what's happened is companies like KME, like American Friends, they have been picked off by what's called the Rev Group, which is a large corporation, which just goes around and has bought up many of these different fire manufacturers. So they get, for example, KME is now being produced by Ferrara. If you buy a custom cab, it's in Louisiana. They kept their commercial cab manufacturer there, but the number of independent operators continues to drop because these big groups buy them up. So, yeah. Now the manufacturing there, the servicing of them continues to be the problem. So Firemaster will handle our warranty work, which is good on that one, but it still is an issue trying to find people to come repair the rigs that we have, because that's a different thing. That won't be Firemaster. That's still what used to be EBS and is now Martin Siddons or Siddons Martin, then EAM. Those tend to be our two options primarily to do things. So.
It's got to be bad shape by now.
Well, not exactly, because they didn't really start on.
I'll use Leslie's philosophy here. Be positive. Try to be positive.
Well, International just fixed the steering on this thing, so it should be fine.
Oh, it'll be a dandy.
Got it yet, and the steering was bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Next meeting, we're gonna take a ride.
Todd's people will be in front of it clearing traffic.
Setting up the roadblocks in case we have any
We probably need about a
failures.
half a mile swath there, Todd.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll try not to go downhill.
There's some pretty big wheels when they come off.
All right. Anything else of Chief Shin? All right. Katie, Finance Director?
I don't have anything to add.
Nothing?
No.
No news is good news on the finance side.
The double in the interest income, is that just one?
For the year,
No, for the month.
that is probably showing as well. I don't have it in front of me, but
Well, I know, I mean, like, it had been like 45, and this one was like 12 almost.
It is general fund CD that we have. It's the receipt from that.
All right.
Yeah, it's about 5,000, I think. For
How
that.
much?
About 5,000. Is that? Yeah. We get it quarterly, so it's
Yeah, it's not paid monthly.
Yep.
Which we can change that, and if we ever do tap into our line of credit, we will change that to where it's a monthly dividend that they pay us. Which, no big deal with them. They said that's fine, so. All right. To me, I'm just going to kind of go down the list. I've got several things here. Finally got the requested info from the 2 refuse companies that we had asked to see some information on for RFPs and getting ready for that. That way I've got some information to give to you all. So those of you on our wage and salary in the next 2 weeks, hopefully you all are going to be available so we can sit down and start talking about this. How I anticipate this thing to look like, because we also want to include all those that do residential service that are the mom and pops that are here in town. We want to include those, so we're probably going to separate this as far as the RFP goes from residential and commercial and look at it that way. I visited with Sean briefly, and I'm kind of putting him on the spot now, but we feel as though we can save a tremendous amount for the citizens, but we feel like we can save a tremendous amount for ourselves as well by us doing the billing for them. And the larger companies that I've spoke to says that no problem, they do that all over the place. So I'm getting all of our ducks in a row. That's why we've not had a meeting yet. We've kind of been waiting on everybody to get us some information, some sample RFPs and things of that nature that we need to look at. So be on the lookout. Here in a couple of weeks I'll be sending out emails to you all and we'll go over that. Jennifer, myself, Brandy was on a Zoom call, and I really wish Steve was here because it regards him as well, or regards the Planning Commission as well. But what we had found is we had actually one of our employees that has a commercial business here in town. We had run into a zoning issue, not an issue so to speak, but the zoning map, the overlaid map that we've adopted. It didn't meet the criteria. Like on one half of his buildings, it met the criteria, and then on the back half, it was zoned something else. So what we'd done is we had set up a meeting. Actually, Katie had made the first initial call, and then we'd followed through with Brandy and Jennifer the other day. We, like I say, we ran into an issue. For lack of better words, it's splitting lots, basically. They brought out in that meeting, that that was the least of our worries, is this one little deficit that we had. They gave us about 3 or 4 different examples, Ducommon being one of them. You know, I-1 is what it was zoned at, and part of it, the back half of it where the new building is zoned something completely different. But the good news is Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning is going to begin work along with Jennifer, and I seen your email today, Jennifer. Thank you for that. We're gonna fine tune those obvious ones for right now, and then we're gonna actually, once we get those done, we're gonna go in with the Planning Commission and finalize the rest of it. We think that this process might be 60-90 days at best to really fine tune our zoning map, and that way we don't have this problem moving forward, and we start out. Because the other thing that we've kicked around the idea of, or the other thing that we've talked about, is annexation. And one of the things that Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning encouraged us very much to do is once we get this map completed here 60-90 days, that's whenever we're going to strategically sit down, and it'll probably be a committee of about 2 of us. If you're interested in that, I say 2 of us, counting me, 3. It'll be a committee of about 3 people that we're going to analyze the best potential places for this. But the enclaves and the islands that we have in the city, that's where we're going to start at. That's what we're going to annex first and kind of get everything completed as it needs to be. So this is integral in that aspect of it, and I only feel comfortable in moving forward with any annexation plans only if we have a completed map. So again, we'll be leaning on the Planning Commission. Jennifer, I know you're a lot of the legwork on that commission. So, you know, you and I will communicate about that. And Brandy, thank you for sitting in on the conversation as well. But that's our game plan with Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning. And the ordinance, that was that. So I'll check it off. I've kind of write like I talk, just kind of bleed into one thing over another. Ordinances that was adopted for the BLE floodplain map. We just received today the first correspondence from FEMA in regards to the community draft farm database and what FEMA's asking us to do. So pay attention to Facebook and our website for the city. We plan on sending out this letter as well as the link that gives our citizens 30 days to use this thing to kind of get some feedback for FEMA and all that. So stay tuned to that in the next couple days with this new adopted floodplain map deal that we did we do an emergency clause on that? Yes. So that was about 2 months ago that we had adopted.
About, yeah, probably 2-3 months ago.
2-3 months. Okay.
That was June.
But anyway, and I would really like each council member here, once we send that out, either myself or Katie, one of us will send you a reminder. I would like for y'all to get on there and kind of play with that yourself. June, was it June? Yeah, June's whenever we adopted it. So I'd like for y'all to get on the link that's provided by FEMA. I don't know that it's up and going yet. I've got to make a phone call on that tomorrow. But I would like for y'all to go on there and play with it, give me some feedback so we can get that back up to FEMA so they know that we're doing our due diligence. And this is a process, as everybody knows, since we've adopted this, it will be a process and any feedback would be appreciated. So, Joetta Smith, now that we've got all the filings, we'll go ahead and talk about all these all together tonight. We had Stephen Ford file. We had Crystal file, and it's on this side of the room. Obviously, Leslie had kind of told us what her game plan was, and she was retiring after this election, which completely understood, and I think Joetta had mentioned the same thing as well. You didn't have enough time, so we're going to remedy those things as we see fit. We still haven't even found the replacement over here on this side of the room. With Mr. Ellis leaving, so I'll work diligently toward that. But what we found out specifically about Ms. Smith's position, the city clerk position, and I'll ask you if I mess this up.
Okay.
Please interject. What we had thought or anticipated was Katie's already doing the job. So for the most part, with the exception of some things that we got to sign. Well, by state law, you have to live in the city limits. Katie's just outside the city limits. So by resolution, we can appoint. The only thing is, Joetta, I have to tell you, by state law, even though you resign, you're still incapacitated until we fill your position. So my apologies to you up front. So anyway, stay tuned to next month's meeting, and I'll try to have some things finalized on exactly the approach and how we're going to do the appointments and things of that nature. I'm going to be working with Jessica on that, and Katie was worthy and well qualified to do it, obviously, and we had actually talked about it at length, and I thought, no big deal. We didn't. I thought this is a no-brainer. And then this caveat come up that you have to actually be a resident and a voting citizen of Huntsville. So there is that, and we will follow the rules to the T. And like I say, Jessica, am I telling everything
yeah, no,
correct?
like I said, she's in the position until I guess you resign. But like I said, we'll have.
So
to
don't
have
resign until we find somebody, Joette.
But it is a position that it can just be appointed.
Yes, it is.
It is an elected position, so like city council, it can, we appoint someone until the next election if someone runs.
Now tell me this, in that, Jessica is a first-class city. Mm-hmm. Don't we have the opportunity to do away with the election process and appoint that position?
So this position, I think, will have to be elected.
Okay.
So
all right.
Unless no one runs, like we are in
yes.
this position,
okay.
then we'll
all right.
have to have it appointed. So
fantastic. All right. All right, that takes care of that. So stay tuned. I'll get back to everybody whenever we're still down one on this side, and I have reached out to about 4 people, and that volunteerism that we were talking about. Big thing here for us, and just take a moment of time to say this. Not sure if anyone is aware, and not saying anything that I probably shouldn't say, but as you know, the Coger families had some health issues here as of late. And one of the things that we had talked about, and you always try to give credit where credit's due, right? One of the things that we had discussed a year ago was Charles Coger and his love for the airport, and his basically the airport's inception was because of Charles Coger, and he is he's very passionate about it, and he loves it, and you know, just in helping us with everything that he's done. He helps Katie and myself, and he prompts us on any issues that we have up there. You know, I thought it would be fitting, especially in light of his recent health issues, that we do something, you know, for him. And one of those things that I had talked about doing was naming the airport or the field after Charles Coger. And so I would like for us to take a vote on that tonight. I'm proposing that we do something on behalf of the family and him in regards to the airport and all the contributions he's made over the years to the airport. So I'd like to, just from myself, I would like for us to, we can take a voice vote or whatever we need to do, but I want y'all's permission to name part of the airport after him. Do we have it?
No objections, but I'd rather it be the field as the airport.
Absolutely.
Just
Understood.
keep from
Okay. Yes. Charles Coger Field at Huntsville Airport. Huntsville Municipal Airport. Yeah. It's kind of, this is actually the same line of thinking that I had. So, do you formally make a motion?
I'll make that motion, yes.
All right.
I'll second.
All right, and we got Scott seconding. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, then or all opposed, same sign. Sorry. Hearing none. All right, then that's what we'll do. He has been a true leader whenever it comes to aviation in this community, and
Sure.
And the family has been, like I say, integral in what we've propagated so far as airport and other things as well. So we always appreciate Charles and everything that he's done. Last thing, and this is the most exciting thing, other than naming the field after Charles Coger. PUD, planned urban developments. So the reason we're going to talk about this is we don't have one. And so we're going to hopefully, in this process with the Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning, have one after this. And the reason I say that we're going to have one of these is to let you all know the holiday or the discounts that we're giving for builders. There has been recently, over the last month or so, there has been an uptick in people wanting to build here and wanting to capitalize on that. I've had conversations with a few of them myself, and I think we've actually had somebody take advantage of it, correct, Katie? We've already had one company or one builder take advantage of that, so it means that we're going in the right direction. With that said, the other thing that we have had several times over in the past 2 weeks is an actual developer from the Fayetteville area who will remain nameless once we have some groundbreaking conversations and figure out what we're going to do. We're talking about an area out there on the bypass with a couple of hotels, potentially another convenience store of some sort, and a larger, like a pilot station, if you will. I don't know if that's the game plan, but I know, and one of the things that he's requested, which it seems as the planning commission is going in that direction, what he's requested is some mixed-use development that would fall under this planned urban development in regards to mixed use being maybe some apartment complexes along with the hotel, maybe some lower income homes that are built there. I know that Terry Presley is one of them that has approached us about the same thing, making maybe some lot sizes smaller. So we're gonna kind of leave that all up to planning, but I want you to know this falls right in line with our strategic plan and what we've been talking about now for about 6 months this year. And I think it's going to be fantastic for our community. The other thing is, now this is very preliminary, and I visited with Chief only a few moments ago about this, but the other thing is the gentleman has stakes here, and he has land here. And one of the other things that he's approached us about that Chief and I will be talking about is the 36 acres that we possess over on the old City Dump Road. He's looking at maybe developing that or buying that at some point in time as well. So we'll be having those conversations, but I know and I feel comfortable in announcing this because it's very exciting that it's coming maybe to fruition, and we see it a little quicker than what we anticipated, is the fact that I've finally, within the last 72 hours, I was able to talk to the landowner where he's looking at the land. I think that they're actually working on a deal right now, and I think that this is going to be fantastic for the city of Huntsville. It gives us some amenities that we don't currently have. Just today, Katie she'd come back from lunch, and just today we had another gentleman stop by on a piece of property that Jen will get into this later, that was on I-2. Is that correct? I-2 out by the bypass where you couldn't put anything industrial out there on this piece of property. He said, hey, would you be interested in rezoning that and me opening up a restaurant there? We sure would. It's right on the bypass. And it would fall under the guise, but he would have to obviously get a variance, but it would fall under that guise. So as long as we've got the Planning Commission cooperating and seeing these things to fruition, I think that you're going to see a lot of growth in the next 18 months to 2 years. So
I just wanted to expand on the PUD and the PZP.
yes,
zoning
yes,
district.
yes.
Right now, the city only has one district that has multiple uses, and it's that dual use. It's got your commercial and your residential. This will just expand on that and be able to have multifaceted zones inside one area. And I think this will save us some trouble further down the road when we have these hot spots where water is available and inside the city limits for fire and police protection and things like that, that we know that growth is coming to, and will save the trouble of the 3 to 6 month time frame that we have for rezoning. And I think it'll help with that 18 months holiday that you're giving for the builders, and it'll just tie in real nice.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. Thank you for that clarity. The other thing I'll say about this gentleman, and again, he asked to be nameless until we finally have that meeting or whatever. He said he's fine with me announcing it tonight. 2,800, done a little research on him, 2,880 acres of developed land in Benton and Washington County. Of all that developed land, 94% of them are at capacity. So what does that tell us? It tells us this, and this is the sticker over the whole thing. 94% of what he's done in Fayetteville, Springdale, Bentonville, Rogers is accepting enough that 94% of them are full right now and at full capacity. So it tells me that he puts his best foot forward whenever he comes over, and that's our approach. We will be cautiously optimistic with what's to come. But I had the initial conversation with him about a week and a half ago. The conversation with the landowner about 7 days ago, and somewhere in between, another developer from Alabama called me that has ties with this gentleman as well, and was asking me for some statistics that we gave. So look forward to that, and look forward to giving you more information as it comes in. Last thing, the 21st of this month, Congressman Womack's office is coming down, and we're having a meeting. As many of you know, Ducommon had about 50 people laid off. How many? 38 people laid off. And so we'd reached out. Well, we was late to the ball game because somebody had already talked, and so they're coming down to have a meeting over there with them on the 21st, and they called me and asked if I would help with that meeting, and I said absolutely, I'd be happy to help with that. The other thing, Butterball obviously had some issues over there here the other day. Don't know any details about the issue, but I know that they're short-staffed. So I've reached out to a company out of Van Buren. Made sure it was all right to do this by AML standards, because I don't know what that role is or what it looks like for a mayor. So we hopefully put those in connection with another firm that can help them shore up their staffing that they lost in this incident that happened here a while back. So hopefully that they'll reach out to them. And he called me today and hadn't heard anything, but I finally had my call with Butterball on Friday, and so hopefully we'll get Butterball some staffing over there that they desperately need, and hoping to the tune of the deficit that they have, even more than the 50 or 60 people that are not there anymore. So anyway, that's the conversations I've had, and that is my report. Any questions of me? Guy, you're thinking. You want to ask me something.
My mind was just racing on problems about 50, 60 people.
I bet you're thinking that for a different reason now.
We're good.
Yeah, all right. Anyway. Oh, and Sean and I have visited with them about some water treatment stuff the other day. That meeting went very well. We've got a long ways to go with that, but it went very well. All right, that's all for me. Economic Development Director, I didn't steal your thunder. You gonna tell them about our groundbreaking and how big that event was?
I wanted to thank everybody who was able to come out to that, and the mayor for eating bugs for it.
Yes.
We had a really good turnout. Eric Dotson did a really great job doing
Fantastic.
the organization of that. We really appreciate her. Thank you to the paper for the coverage on that. Super cute pictures of all the kids. And we had an opportunity the next week to talk with Jennifer Eaton and her Bright Futures program that they're establishing at the high school, and she's looking forward to hopefully growing that event with the city. So thank all of you that came out.
Yes. Thank you. And I hate that I missed that Bright Future. Oh, that was the last thing. I forgot to even write it down. So we had a meeting with not a meeting, but we had a picture opportunity with the governor. Again, we got another $6,500 and some odd dollars in grant money for the Station 1 and the upgrades in the electrical from the Rural Economic Development here in Arkansas. And so we got to go down and was presented a check. So that all went well. So more money. That's good. All right. Obviously, your building inspector reports were included. Code enforcement officer reports, did he get them in, Katie?
Yes.
All right. And just so you know, Jeremy Shin, our code enforcement officer, come by today, and we have finally, our new programming that we've got, it is fantastic. And he ordered a little old printer. We had him order a printer so he can actually print those citations out at point of contact.
Oh, great.
So that is, and this program, as quickly as we went through it, is absolutely amazing. You can preload all of our ordinances or even state law. That's what we hang our hat on. This is something that we've needed for a long time, so I'm really excited about that. Planning Director, do you have anything for us?
I think you covered it all.
Well, look at me go. Animal Control Officer is not here. The report was included. The thing that I will say is our spay and neutering clinic that we done over here at Basham, we're going to tweak that just a little bit. We're having another one here before too long. I think Thursday of this week, actually, we're having one. We've had them clean out the bay. We're going to do it more at the shelter now, and use the bay that we have over here that's in front of the shelter to house the animals that are coming out of anesthesia and things of that nature. I think it's just more functional that way. So anyway, but it went off, I think they served 38 or 41 people, I don't remember the exact numbers, spayed and neutered. And I tell you, it is an absolute treat if you go by how they do that. The feral cats that we caught in town, and they done that too, whenever they're coming out of anesthesia, it is something to behold and something to see. I really enjoyed it. You could hear the cat squalling from over here. So anyway, something else. All right. That's it. Commission and committee reports, obviously they were included with your agenda packet. Economic Development Tourism Commission meeting was July the 16th. Water and Sewer Commission meeting was July the 18th. And Planning Commission meeting was June the 24th. No unfinished business tonight. New business. A resolution honoring elected officials, proposed 7/20/24.
Okay. So normally we don't read resolutions, but tonight we are. So we have a resolution honoring former and current elected officials who have passed away. Whereas that Pat Grubbs, former city council member from 2019 to 2022, recently passed away on August 2nd, 2024. That the city of Huntsville wants to ensure that moving forward, all former and current elected officials who have passed away are recognized at city council meetings. Whereas the city council of the city of Huntsville, being duly apprised of all the facts and advised of applicable law, finds that it's in the best interest of the citizens of the city of Huntsville to approve the resolution honoring former and current elected officials who have passed away. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Huntsville as follows. Section 1, that all City of Huntsville elected officials, former and current, who have passed away are to be recognized for their service they provided to our community at the City Council meeting following their death. Okay.
Now make a motion for the adoption.
Have a motion? Second. And guys, after we take a vote on this, we're going to observe about 30 seconds of silence in memory of Pat Grubbs and those who have went on before her. So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, we'll begin. All right, thank you all. New business, ordinance doing business with city officials, proposed 2024-6. Hey, did we need we didn't need to do this one via emergency, did we, or what? Okay.
We have ordinance number.
We've got it, put it on its first reading.
Yes,
Yeah.
first reading, I'm sorry.
Okay, I
Yeah.
make the motion to put this proposed ordinance on its first reading.
I'll
In
second.
full.
Scott made the first. Councilor Over made the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Okay. Ordinance number proposed 2024-6, an ordinance specifically permitting city officials to do limited business with the city. Whereas the City Council of the City of Huntsville has determined that there are certain situations in which it would be beneficial to the City of Huntsville to conduct business with people who are elected, appointed, or employed with the city, along with their immediate family members per ordinance number 11-2. Whereas Arkansas Code annotated 1442-107B1 authorizes the governing body of the city to enact an ordinance specifically permitting such business. And whereas that the policy of the City of Huntsville to do business locally whenever possible and economically. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Huntsville, Arkansas, Section 1, that Jason Yates, Planning Commissioner, owns and operates Sparky's Garage, an automobile repair shop in Madison County, Arkansas. Section 2, that the City of Huntsville may use Sparky's Garage for auto repair regarding Huntsville city vehicles.
Thank you. Is that it? Okay. All right, on to announcements, correspondence, comments. Economic Development Commission meeting Tuesday, August the 20th, 8:30 a.m. at the Arvest Annex. Water and Sewer Commission meeting Thursday, August 22nd at 4 p.m. Planning Commission meeting Monday, August 26th at 6 p.m. Madison County Fair Wednesday, August 28th through the 31st. Fiesta Latina, Saturday, September the 7th, 4 to 10 p.m. at Mitchison Park. And our city council meeting, obviously, Monday, September the 9th at 6 o'clock. Farmers Market on Polk Square Thursday, Polk Square on Tuesdays, and Church Street parking lot on Saturday, 7 to noon. One last thing here that's come across today, the Dine and Dash silent auction lunch. For the Madison County Health Coalition fundraiser event It's going to be a drop-in anytime between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. To place your silent auction bid. Lunch will be served between 11 and 2. August the 19th is that date. And I think I seen somewhere that it's a $10 donation, and you can either get a ham.
Yeah, you can order a lunch and they'll deliver it to you. It's a hamburger.
Yes.
The other thing to check is they're online. They're gonna move the silent auction online too, so check their Facebook page if you'd like to bid
Yes.
and not be present.
All right, that's it from this front.
Make a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion. All opposed, say it.
Second.
Second. Everybody go home.
So the fiesta with him.
Let me tell you guys, you need to come to that because I had a blast down there. That's